I want to tell you a little bit about my family, but not my family today, at least not at first. I want to tell you about my parents. They were born at the beginning of the last century, 1906, each of them. And when they began to date, it was the 1920s. My mother had no access to reproductive health education at all, and she became pregnant. She was very nervous about this because my mother's family rejected my father because he was of a different religion, and they wouldn't allow them to get married. So she was pregnant and stuck in this position, and she didn't know what to do. So they got very stressed out. She was drinking, she was smoking, she had no access to health education about any of this. And even though they sneaked away and got married secretly in an elopement, they came back and lived separately in their parents' houses until she began to show. When the baby came, unfortunately, it had a birth defect and only lived for 18 months. She had no access to what it meant to have postpartum depression. She was a wreck, as was my father, but something I can tell you, they were strong because they bounced back from that. They had another child several years later. That was me. I was healthy. I was an example of success between the two of them, and they continued on to be married for a long time, and our family unit, just these three people, was a very strong family unit. Today I live with my lesbian partner of 26 years, and we inherit the legacy from our own parents, including the strength to confront lack of access to good reproductive and regular quality health care, overcoming prejudice and discrimination based on something like religion, but this is sexual orientation, and we ask, and what we need today is not just to be tolerated, but to recognize that, like my own parents, the importance of inclusion and good education and really celebration for their strength.